Hello, Holy Ones. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this space. Welcome to this space. It is so wonderful to be with each and every one of you. Just going to make sure we have everybody able to get in here. We're recording, so this will be available on Patreon within 24 to 48 hours. Thank you all for being here in this beautiful now. Thank you for being in this beautiful now. So I'm going to jump right in because you guys know I have so many things I want to share with you. And so we'll just allow everyone who's coming in to get in as they are coming. So no big deal here. So I sent out a little promo to let everybody know about this space. And I mentioned what I wanted to go over. So I want to talk about the current energies, what's going on in connection with the reality you are living in, and then your personal flow rate, what that is, and how to optimize it. So it's, the Being the New Human classes, we've been doing them since 2020. Some of you are brand new to the space, some of you are veterans. So the concepts are always the same. What I talk about is basically always the same, but I try to package it in different and various ways so that the mind, the conceptualization of you, the way you're perceiving and interpreting, has the opportunity to pick up on it and yarasokoane and connect in an even different way than possibly the last time, And so when we're talking about the current energies, there's something you have to take into consideration. And I hardly ever use the word have to, but there's something that you have to take into consideration when you are, I'm just making sure everybody's mics are on mute. If I tap your mic and it asks you to unmute, it's just me trying to mute and do all this at one time. So when you're talking about the current energies, what is going on energetically on the planet, in the collective, in your reality, and the timeline that we're experiencing right now, and the quantum, because these are all kind of different variations or increments energetically of spaces in which what is going on is going on. So first I need you to make note of that. So as you hear what's going on with the energies right now, you need to lean in and read these spaces of you as I articulate, all right, as I share. So everyone here has different belief structures. You have different cultural upbringing. And there's so much clearing going on already. Woo, a lot of energy in the solar plexus. Just breathe, Holy One. It's like an energy session in a class altogether. So everyone has these different backgrounds. Those backgrounds, those foundations, they create different belief structures. They create different interpretations for you. So no two people here are going to interpret what's going on around us and what we're feeling inside of us exactly the same way. There's always going to be a little bit of a difference. There can be similarities, but every experience, every reality has its uniqueness. It's beautiful that way. We've talked about that before, because as each unique space of reality represented by each unique space here, you, each being, each human, as each one of us understands ourselves on a different level and implements from that level of understanding into our lives, choices, responses, belief structures, interpretations. As each one of us does that, we impact the incremental connective point within the collective. So Christy, when she has her experiences, they are going to have an alignment with a large group of the collective, but not all. Connie, when she has her experiences, they're going to have an alignment with a large group of the collective, but not all, and so forth. All right? So when the individual has its awakening, has its spiritual growth moments, it is inevitably affecting in a very beautiful, pure love way that space of the collective. So you're like representatives of the wave that is shifting the consciousness of humanity. And you each have a sector, if you will, or a space of the collective in which you impact. You may, like, again, I said, you may have similarities, and you may be able to find spaces within our collective of ACASMA. This is the ACASMA Family of Light Collective, right? You might be able to find individuals in this immediate collective that really understand you, right? Their energy resonates with you and your energy resonates with them. And then you could find some in this family that really understand you, but they also have some additional spaces of understanding they key into that you don't. Could be related to religious connotation. Someone here might have a very deep relationship with Jesus, Yeshua, and someone else here might not. Yet both individuals could also then share their understanding of themselves as consciousness, as ever evolving, as ever expanding. So the reason I say that is, as I go into what I understand the energies to be at right now, I need you to remember, this is not an across the board, one-stop shop. You have to take into consideration your specific belief structures. So I explained it like this one time before. If you go on a social platform like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or any of these spaces that you go on and you share your likes, and then you also look at other people's things and you like it or comment or whatever, even just looking, right? These sites, these programs, they have what they call algorithms. They're computerized and they pick up on what you key into. And then they know that's what you like. They think, why would you look at what you don't like, right? This universe is the same exact way. And so then they put more in front of you, aligned with what you keep looking at, what you keep commenting on, what you keep connecting with. And these sites are built this way. And you can even play around with it. I've done that before as well. I've scrolled through very quickly on certain posts that I would tend to spend more time on. I've just gone right by them, and I've seen brand new stuff coming into my feed that I've never even looked at before. And I've spent moments looking at it, like, I don't know, animals, like dogs, whatever. I'll spend some moments with them. They're never in my feed before, but let me see what happens. All of a sudden, here's another dog video and another dog video and another dog video, because I engaged with the dog video. So with that in mind, as I share with you the understanding of the energies from my perceptional viewpoint right now, you need to take into consideration the power you hold as to how you navigate these energies based upon your interpretation of these energies, because that will define it all. Your interpretation of the energies defines it all. So if you interpret the energies as divisive and very dark, and which that reality line is completely available right now, then that is a space of the energies that you will experience more of. But at the same time, there are increments available where that energy is not being interpreted that way. And those spaces are being experienced by the people who are interpreting from that other space of belief structure or vantage point. Overall, the energy right now is in a it's in a new alignment. It's already made its way into the new alignment. So many of you in this world this group, this space of understanding, you understand the concept of the spiritual awakening, a great shift, a new earth, all these terms, right? Second coming. So the initial space of that energy is already implemented. The initial space of the shift, of the second coming, of the new earth is already implemented. Because for a lot of us that have been in this space of understanding, we've been hearing for a long time, it will happen, it will happen, it will come. But my understanding, mine, doesn't have to be yours, is that it's already come and it's already anchored. balance began to come in. This is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I don't care. Balance began to come in, not came in, began in 2019. In 2019, I kept hearing, and I didn't understand then, but now I understand so much better. I kept hearing in my being, the light is here. The light is here in 2019. I had no idea what was going to happen in 2020. None of us did, right? And I had so much happening in my own personal self-expansion, self-awakening, spiritual walk. My entire life was changing. My entire life. Like, I still have my husband of 30 some years. I still have my beautiful children, great relationships. I still have many of my family members, but a lot of connections with friends and family shifted and changed. My job, got out of a job that I'd done for 17 years. It was a good job. It paid the bills, but I didn't love it. It wasn't my heart. I got out of that in 2017, but it was preparing me to be where I needed to be in 2019 when all this started going down. All this started happening. And I lost, or I chose to heal and clear the fear that was keeping me from allowing this from happening in my own life. And I just started walking in a totally different way of being. And my entire life changed and opened up. And I met all of you beautiful people and then some. And I met beautiful beings of light. And I had communications with my father, who I lost when he passed away out of physical form when I was 23. And I hadn't really felt his presence, or, like I'd have a dream or something, right? But I started being able to pick up on him and read his energy and feel his presence and even receive some communications. I was in an entirely different space of vibrational existence, if you will. And that was in 2019. I kept hearing the light is here. So when 2020 came, there was so much going on in what we see as the regular world, right? The outer world, the everyday life. But really, we're being asked, I'll tell you this all the time, do not separate the two, really. Own them all as your quantum higher self. Own them all as your wholeness, your eternal being. Don't be different when you're in your everyday life. Be your power in all your nows. So I go into 2020, and I've been hearing the light is here, the light is here. And then I start having really massive experiential spaces with that light and light beings. And I start understanding there is so much more to me and to humans and to Earth and to all of this. And some of this is in my book. So some of you are very familiar with some of the stories. I did have to walk through fear, meaning I had old belief structures. And this is important for what we're talking about your flow rate and how to optimize your flow rate and with the energies that are happening right now. There's really big clearings coming out of the solar plexus and the liver. So we're still healing a lot of addictive spaces, alcoholism and drugs and sex traumas in the lower centers of the body. And it's clearing, it's healing right now. So many of you are doing this for yourselves or for your family lines. Just breathe as you're listening to the space, please. If you need to lay down, please. All right. So I had to allow myself to face my fears, because if I didn't face my fears that were embedded in my belief structures, and you can have a fear of the dark, you can have a fear of evil spirits, you can have a fear of conservatives, you can have a fear of liberals, you can have a fear of gays, you can have a fear of men, you can have a fear of suppression, you can have a fear of war. There's a lot of things you can have a fear about. And any space of fear is fear. Any space of fear is fear. So we're given the opportunity as we awaken to move through our fears, because you cannot awaken and shift into a new alignment of yourself if you hold those fears. Those fears are the alignment of the space you're in. So as long as you have those fears, you have that alignment. You experience those experiences. There's no getting around it. It's you and your divine sovereign ability as a being of light. So as you awaken, you go like this. Oh my goodness, I think I might be more than what I thought I was, or what I think I am. And you start pondering who you are and what you are and why you are and why you do what you do and why you say what you say and why you feel what you feel and why so-and-so who's close to you, your husband or your lover or your partner or your mother or whoever they are. You start really picking up on all these things. And that's you showing you the belief structures, the interpretations and perceptions you hold that align you to what you're seeing. So everything you're seeing and everything you're experiencing is you giving you the understanding of you. And you say, oh, no, no, no. I'm understanding that he's a jerk or she's a But yes, your makeup, your perception and interpretation of the jerk or whatever is coming from a belief you hold. And they might be backing that belief up by their actions, absolutely. But your belief, as long as it is what it is, there will never be a different reflection. It's impossible because it's all energetic alignment. So I had to walk through fears for my personal journey, my space of what I was afraid of, if I wanted to continue to expand. And you can take breaks and you can gauge it, because some of this work is really, really deep and highly intensive. But it's never, ever meant to be long, drawn out cycle. That's never intended that way. That's a program that does bring that type of experience, but you can do this work very, very quickly, very, very fast, as long as you are showing up and allowing, which everyone here is doing that. This is how you do it. You show up and you allow yourself to receive the understandings, to process the understandings, and then you choose if you implement them. All right. And there's so much clearing going on right now, Holy One. My entire solar plexus is just clamped over. So you're clearing really, really big. Just breathe. So, just allow the space, please, and breathe. There's a lot of fear being released. A lot of fear. You're done. You're done with fear. You're done with the games. You're done with the understandings being misplaced into spaces of lower alignments of you. You're done. You've unshackled yourself. You're free, and you are flying upward into the next space of your being. Just allow, please. Just breathe. Whew. So as you move through the fears, meaning you just don't react to them or respond to them the way you did the last time. So whatever the fear is, whatever the space is, when you feel the fear or when you feel yourself coming into the space of wanting to respond or react, maybe the way you always have your whole life, for whatever space you're talking about, it could be multiple spaces. If you change your mindset, I just did a video about this. It's an older video that I did on Patreon about 7 months ago or so. It's on YouTube right now. If you change your mindset, then you change the direction of your response, your reaction, then you change the space of the energy flow, which is your flow rate, the way you are being you. You will change what you are experiencing. You have the power. No one else has your power but you. Even when you feel like you don't have your power, that you feel someone took your power or someone holds your power, you still have the power to take your power back. We'll do a little exercise at the end of class. But if you walk through the fears, then when you are registering your life is going to feel, look, be entirely different. Because those fears you used to register from, you walk through them. And it's, people say, well, do I need to know when it happened and where it happened and how it happened and why it happened? And then do I need to do things to like heal myself? And I've talked at length about this. Always nurture and care for the body, help it catch up, even after you figure out how you need to walk through a fear and a space you need to let go of. But I'm going to tell you that the energies in the now are moving quicker than they ever have. And we are actually, there have been timelines collapsing that we will never see. There have been merging of timelines that have shifted realities that we didn't even see coming because of the growth, because of the expansiveness of humanity. The rate and flow of, these aren't perfect words. The rate and flow of higher energy is so strong right now. When I heard the light is here in 2019, it was not this strong. It was coming in and people were not awake yet. The masses, there were many that were, but the masses were not awake yet. So the light came in. I said, the light is here, the light is here. I kept hearing that to bring in balance, because there was so much dark and so little light that the masses were in the dark. They couldn't feel, see, wake up. So the light came in 2019, and then there's balance set. The balance set was all throughout 2020. It was a war. It was, if you will, you know me, I don't like these darker words, but it's a word the brain hears and understands quickly. It was a battle, a war of energy, if you will, on the most energetic quantum scale way in which I could convey this. So I'm not talking about physical war, talking about spiritual energy, which are the same thing. Science and spirit, they're all interconnected. You can't separate them. They actually confirm one another. So 2020 was the war space, right? And I don't want to take this into a space of who did what, as in what was playing out on the planet. But I will say this, the power of human consciousness is beyond what we, even in the spaces of people who study awakening and enlightenment and the power of your thoughts and the power to direct and create your world. The power of human consciousness is even beyond that. It's beyond what we think we know. What we are in our being is beyond our comprehension still, as in powerful. And if humanity had moved into a space of itself in 2019, because the balance was being brought in by itself, by higher spaces of ourselves, because that balance was being brought in, the wake up was coming. And in many ways, what played out in 2020 was a tool or a mechanism that was able to be utilized, if you will, for of benefit for people to have the space to wake up, if you will. It's almost like, somebody changes everything and you go, wait, what? And that wait, what moment? You don't go back to the thought you had before. The wait, what moment, you come out the other side of that thought and everything is looking different. Now, was this for everyone? No. Will it be for everyone? Maybe. But there's no judgment, because everybody is eternal and they're all going to go through their life experiences and they're going to have their ability to navigate in a way that's best for them. You know, you do not need to worry about your loved ones. You know, that's a really big, you can do anything you want, but that's a big program people carry as a fear. Even when they leave religion, because, you know, religion is if you are not saved, you're going to go to hell. And so then people want to save all their family members and they want to know that they're going to be, you know, able to see them again in heaven. And then if you're not religious and you're in the spiritual world, I can't tell you how many people ask me, are my kids going to go to the new earth? Or are my kids going to wake up? Are my kids going to, you know, shift? Or my significant other, or whatever it is. You can definitely continue to hold the vantage point if you choose to, of worrying about other people and their own individualized journey and all your loved ones, but you don't have to, because they are as magnificent as you are. And what we are navigating right here is a shift in a playing field in which we are being given the opportunity to implement from that higher space of ourselves. Does it mean there's no density in the current timeline, in the current energy? Does it mean there's no evil? No, there is. But your vantage point and your interpretation of that density and that evil is going to determine how you experience it. That's what I want you to really understand here. That's how powerful you are. And people will say, if you know that there's density and darkness, wouldn't you do something about it? But the first step is owning your power in your sovereign being. Get out of the cycle. See, these have been cycles for beyond comprehension on Earth. There have been civilization after civilization, ancestors that have had awakenings and had understandings, but there wasn't this space of self-anchoring, self-mastery for the whole body to rise. You know, it's kind of like if everyone was scampering in fear because some real daunting bad thing is about to happen. You know, you may imagine a movie you're watching, you know, some cataclysmic thing is about to happen and everybody's scampering, trying to lift up pieces and parts of a ladder. And the ladder's not put together, you know, it's like all scattered and everyone's grabbing a different piece and running in a different direction and scared to death, trying to get their little piece up, you know. But if you have the understanding of the power of your piece, your space of the ladder, and you allow yourself to flow in alignment with others who also understand the space of their ladder, that ladder comes together. And that's what we're doing. Beyond even Acasma family of light in this space, there's others on the planet, many, 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 many. And there's others that aren't even human for what we understand is. And they're all part of this ladder. What is happening as per the reflection you are seeing? So whether you're watching news, which I do not watch, and I highly suggest you do not watch, it's 99.9% of the time, it's not even true. On either side, it's not. But it does have a, there's a goal with it. And I used to love it. I used to watch cable news all day long, 24/7. But you will align yourself with that reality if that's what you do. And that's fine. If you love it and you're like, that's my space, I feel very good there, then hold the line. But if you want to be in a different alignment, then you need to be aware of that which you are aligning with, which everyone here is aligning with these understandings. They're aligning with their higher consciousness. They're aligning with, and there's many other spaces you can connect in with such understandings as well. So good for you, good for me, good for us that we are being mature in our consciousness we are being mature in our spiritual understanding of ourselves. When we do that, we make a bigger impact on the density and the darkness on this planet than if we were to go to what some would call like spiritual battle with it and like get on soapboxes and stuff like that. There is a purpose for every part of the human experience, and there is a purpose for every person's space of what they feel to do, what they're here to do. You know, I had a client the other day, and there's been all this transgender stuff going on social media, and they are transgender, and they said to me, I don't know how you can live in the state of Florida and all this. And I love my state. But I totally respect and understand and love them as well. So I allow myself to understand that the vantage point that they are coming from is coming from the space of their belief structure, from their life, from their heart, from their experiences. And I in no way say that my way is the only way. Well, if I was to say that, it would probably be saying that always should be loved, because that's what I believe. You should be able to be you and be loved as you. But their perception of the space is going to be very different from mine, because their vantage point and belief structure is where they're viewing it from, just as I'm viewing it from mine. And then if you add in skewed information purposefully to cause divisiveness, now you've got an even muckier space. But the energies on the planet right now have anchored in the higher alignment. So these densities and these darkness and these divisions and these lies, and we've been lied to for so long, even in our history books, about what's on our planet and in our planet and around our planet and our history and humanity. And it's all right, though. I'm not here to be Debbie Downer, and apologize to any Debbies that got stuck with that line hooked to their name. But I'm not here to bring in, doom and gloom, but I'm here to say, if you're seeing these kind of spaces or these understandings or these teachings, right? What I do is I allow myself to say, all of these are possible alignments. They're possible realities. I claim none. I claim none. I've told you this before. I surf the waves of all the timelines. I allow my love to flow to every one of them. I judge no one on any timeline, because I know I'm bigger than all of them. And that directly affects how I experience any of them that I may come in contact with. And you know that it's possible to come in and out of timelines, or if you don't, that's my understanding. And you can do this when you are in your space and you're doing you your way, and then you go to a family member's house or a friend's house or a public space where there are people that are in very different energetic alignments from you. And you start witnessing and seeing, and you're like, wow, I didn't even realize this was still going on, or I didn't know this was happening. And that is a glimpse of another space, of another timeline, in a sense. And energetically, you would key into it if you held the beliefs consistent with that flow. So your flow rate is all based on the way in which you entertain, if you will, right? Take care of, nurture your belief structures. Whatever you engage in will engage you. Whatever I engage in will engage me. And so as you navigate a very broad spectrum of energies, because, some of you are in jobs that connect with the public, and you could meet 20 different people in one day or more. They're not going to all be on the same exact alignment energetically. And then you're going to be picking up on people with massive amounts of depression or massive amounts of anxiety or massive amounts of joy or massive amounts of whatever, because that's what their take is. That's what their interpretation is of what they're experiencing within that energy flow. So there's all these increments available, and you do not have to pick one. That's an option, absolutely. But you don't have to pick one. You don't have to embed yourself inside of one. You can actually surf the wave of all of them. How do you do that? You have to, again, there's that pushy word again. You have to allow yourself to hold the understanding of you being eternal. Because your eternalness is beyond all those increments that are playing out right now. Those are, in essence, now-based or temporal spaces. They're in the now, they're happening right now, their energy's in motion right now. But your energy is looking through the window of a now portal, but your energy is eternal. So it is eternal and beyond. So keeping that in mind as you're navigating the energies and the spaces, and knowing that you are the director of that energy. You are the director of that energy, that you are the director of you. I want to check my notes real quick. All right. So it's a really big space, but your flow rate, and man, there was some massive fears cleared in this space today, massive fears. We're going to do an exercise in a second here, but your flow rate fluctuates beautifully. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's how, I think the word is nimble. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. All right. So that's how nimble you are, if you will. That when you find yourself in an alignment, experiencing a timeline flow, a reality presence, that you're like, this is not optimal for me. This is not a space I want to feed. When you find yourself in that type of flow, that space, you are nimble. Your flow rate is wave. It's not rock, it's wave. It can move and glide and expand and pull in and zip and zag. But it will only do so upon your direction. It does not whip you around. You direct it. Your flow rate is directed by you. Mine is directed by me. There's so much I want to convey here, but when I mentioned the client and I mentioned the differences in vantage point and interpretation, there's also an understanding of flow rate when flow rate slows. This is a very important thing to understand. Your flow rate, your energy, your vibratory state, the way you navigate all your experiences can move, it can slow. I just got done saying it can zig, it can zag, it can expand, it can contract. And if you find your focus, oh, so much clearing from the heart. Just allow your breath, please. If you find your focus zipping back, zipping back, zipping back to a specific event or experience with a family member or whatever it is that was difficult, triggering, the news, whatever it is, do a checklist. Do a legitimate checklist, all right? If you have to get a piece of paper, if you want to put it on your cell phone in your notes section, if you want to do it in your head, but ask yourself, is fear directing my attention? Is anger directing my attention? Even if it's what you think as justified, you know, somebody you love says something you don't love and it upsets you. If you're upset, ask yourself, is fear directing this? Is anger directing this? And then if you're saying to yourself, because most of the time I haven't found a spot where those types of emotions, those dense spaces, they aren't coming from fear or anger or separation and division of some kind. In that moment, you have the opportunity, big clearing on the left side of the solar plexus, gallbladder, liver, colon. Just allow your breath, please. Su tutuanene anatawa. Yarutukoaye. Hia poane. Just allow your breath. So in the space, is it love? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it hate? What is it? What is it? Ask yourself. You will tell yourself. You will know. It may feel raw in the moment, but that's all right. You can do this. Why do I feel that way? Well, because they hurt my feelings. Well, why did they hurt my feelings? Because I don't like that they say that. That makes me feel like they don't love me, or they don't understand me, or they don't appreciate me. Why do you do what you do for them? This is me talking myself through it, right? Why do you do what you do for them? Because I want to. I want to help. Unconditionally, neutrally, or attached with some type of reciprocation of their emotion, their action, their word. Oh, okay. Why am I doing what I'm doing for them? That I'm upset they don't reciprocate and tell me thank you or love me or whatever it is. Am I doing it because I want the praise, or am I doing it just because I want to help and just because I'm capable of helping in that moment and able to do whatever I did? Do I need them in their reciprocation? Do I have to have it in order to feel peace, or can I feel peace even if I'm not receiving it? Oh. Did I bring myself this space to show myself what I'm capable of? Maybe. Did I bring myself this experience to show myself that I have the opportunity to not be reliant upon outer experiences and other people for my own joy and my own peace? Did I do that? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I have a choice. I can remain focused directly upon this and these feelings that I don't like, and I can get all up in them, probably get some more of them. Or I can make the decision to choose inner peace because of inner peace, not because of outer experience, because of inner peace, truly. That means I have to just make the choice to not be validated by anyone else or have anybody else be the reason why, but just I am. That's a space of spiritual growth. That's a space of expansion. That's a space of a shift of vantage point, so that the next time you're in a space, I'm in a space, my vantage point is going to come from that I am inner peace, period, not because of the outer. And then I'm going to register when somebody says or does something. And guess what happens? Because it's been happening to me. Instead of getting angry or hurt by them, because that doesn't mean it can mean that they change. Absolutely, because the way you interpret them changed. Now they have the opportunity to level up because you took them out of this box you put them in that says they're a not nice person or they're a nice person. I almost said a bad word, but chose not to. So they have the ability to change because you've shifted your viewpoint of how you are going to allow them to be registered by you. But they also have free will and their own journey and their own experience they're going through, and you're part of it. They're getting something from you while you're getting something from them. And in the end, you're both the same and you're one. And it's you and you having the experience in two different spaces of yourself. And more than that, if there's more people involved. Maybe even think about it that way and say, I'm going to get off my own back. when you're looking at your husband or your mother or your brother or whoever you're looking at, and realize it's another space of the one that has a different facade or vessel or version, but it's still that eternal consciousness finding its way. But that's what happened to me, is once I shifted lanes and I started really being able to be that master of my mindset and be the master of my flow rate and be the master of my interpretation of the energies that I was feeling because of what I was experiencing, all of a sudden I started gauging everything I was experiencing differently because my vantage point had changed. So now, instead of feeling hurt, wounded, betrayed, unloved, unvalued, whatever, now I was going, oh my goodness, like legitimately, not in a condescending way, not in a conceited way, but legitimately, oh my goodness, I could feel their fear with compassion, that whatever they were saying, whatever they were spewing, whatever was coming at me, they were in a hurt state of some kind of their own. They were in their own expansion moment, trying to find their wake-up call to register if they wanted to continue to be that version of themselves. And I was now the grand witness because I had not fully left, but I had enough clarity in my own vantage point to be able to pick up on them from a different space. And I could see them and I was like, oh my gosh, like this person is feeling a lot of fear right now. And I knew there was, in my interpretation and in my side of it, I felt like there wasn't fear there, but I could have compassion for them and where they were coming in at. And that changes everything. Does it mean we let people do things to us that are harmful or wrong? No, you always have boundaries and you always have self-love. But I think everyone here can understand what I'm getting at. Your vantage point reads everything accordingly. And if your vantage point is underneath what's happening and it feels super personal and like everything's being done to you, everything will be bigger. Not doesn't just feel like it's bigger, it actually is. Energetically, you've aligned yourself into a connective state that's below. So then if you register that and you allow yourself to work with yourself, and you can do it, you can do it. You can change any mindset, you can shift any belief structure, you can implement any new habit, trait, personality trait, behavioral trait, responsive, anything you want, you can do. Anything. Anything. I'm proof, and the people I've worked with for years are proof. Now we're clearing on the left side of the heart. Just allow your breath. But as you do that, you're going to read and register the energies differently. So why I say all this is because there's a lot of energy flowing in different increments of the way it would be read. And if you're walking in a space of fear or in a space of feeling separated out, us and them, I'm right, they're wrong, they're right, I'm wrong, that kind of thing, everything is going to be interpreted, felt, experienced, received, walked through in a much slower rate of flow, and it's going to take longer to get through it. The situation takes longer because for whatever reason, I believe it's just self-expansion, it slows down energetically because of the focus that's been put on it from a negative connotation, from a fear-based connotation, from a judgment space. It slows it down so you can read that there's fear. So you can read that there's judgment and you can go, oh, I get it. And you can do whatever you choose to do. And if that is realign yourself by shifting some views, dropping some concepts, some ideas, some belief structures, implementing some new ones. There's, hands-on tools quickly. There's affirmations. Everybody knows these, you're either thinking the world hates me or the world loves me or somewhere in between. You're either thinking I love me or I hate me or somewhere in between. Affirmations allow you to gain a control base of what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Some people think that they're stupid. They do. They're like, oh my God, if I have to say one more, I am love, I'm going to throw up. And they're just in that space. That's okay. I was in that space at one time. Everybody has a space like that, one time or another, where things just feel big. They just feel heavy. They just feel yucky. But I promise you, and I mean the word promise, I promise you with everything in my being, my eternal soul, that you can do this. And that they're not silly, they're powerful. Whatever you say and think and feel is laying out what you will and are experiencing. It's you. It's not being done to you. It's not even God testing you. It's not judgment. It's just your energy. And that's how powerful you are. So no matter what is unfolding in all the various spaces in which it is unfolding, because of all the various interpretations, vantage points, ways in which people believe, there's a plethora. Yes, big word, funny word. My husband used it like 3 times in one night watching one TV show the other night. I thought he never uses big words like that. So finally I said, plethora? Oh. And he goes, I thought you'd like that word. So, but there is an enormous amount of opportunity, of energy available. And you get to design the line you decide to tap into. You get to be like, you know what? I'm done judging, or I'm done taking on this type of concept of separating out, or I'm done allowing this other person's viewpoint being different than mine getting to me. I'm going to truly own my dial in my mind, and I'm going to truly set my mindset where I choose. This is that beautiful central processing unit that directs everything the way in which you program it to do. You know, the computer guy comes in and taps on the keyboard and puts the program in, and then the computer runs accordingly. Well, boop, 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 and it's you. It's you. And you program it with affirmations. You really do. The Patreon meditation this month, this timing is not, I did not lay this out. You guys know that. I do not lay these things out way ahead of time. I don't even like bullet points 3 days ahead because I always know I could go off on another direction. But you guys know, if you've done the meditation for this month, for this Patreon, it's like it's affirmations. You can't make this up. The whole meditation is affirmations. I don't think I even say take a deep breath. I don't know, maybe I do. But I remember the majority of that meditation, if not the whole thing, is like, I am loved, I am safe, I am healthy, like all these different things, right? There you go. You want to implement? This is perfect. Goes directly with today's class. I'm so grateful my whole being is involved in the creation of this work, because see, my whole being already knew what was going to come out of my mouth in this class today. And the meditation that was released days ago matches perfectly. So use that. It's infused with ACASMA consciousness, which is you and higher levels of you helping you and your teams of light. And some have already written me. Some of you have already told me about using it. Big clearing on the left side. Just allow your breath. And some of you have had really big spaces of incredible connectivity with higher dimensional beings of light, angelics, spaces of yourself, healing, expanding. So honestly, it's a smaller meditation than I've ever made. Honestly, I didn't think everybody would receive it as the way they did, but I trusted myself like I ask you to do. I allowed like I ask you to do. And I just did what was present in the moment to come forth. And now I understand why. It was all connected. So the energies on this planet are shifting into a higher space of alignment. They already have. It's anchored. Now it gets to expand. How does it do that? Through you, through me, through us, because it is all in an interconnected field. There are beliefs available in every increment, in every timeline, in every available alignment that's flowing right now. They are available to everyone. And they will impart exactly what is needed for the person or persons in that alignment, in their expansion, in their evolution. There's no need for fear of your friend believes this and they're going down, the wrong path. They designed the path they needed in order to remember who they are by learning who they're not. And that's what you've done and I've done. I realized who I wasn't when I started waking up. And that made me look to say, well, then who am I if I'm not ABC? And then who I am flooded in because I gave it space. I gave me space to be seen and to be heard. So let's just take a moment here and close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, nice and slow. Let your body drop on your exhale. Just allow the space. Just allow. You are leaving your fears behind in the arms of love. You are allowing yourself to move into the next space of you. You can allow yourself to hold the intention. You can speak it. You can think it. If you agree with it, that you release anything that is not your truth in the understanding of you as your optimal alignment of love. You can intend, you can direct your flow rate. I direct my flow rate in the alignment of love. Unconditional, neutral, source space love. Allow your breath. Neural pathways are clearing. New neural pathways are coming online. You can feel the energy moving in your brain. If you're not laying down and you need to lay down, just please do so, or just sink into your chair, but just allow the energies to move and run. This is you. This is the spaces of you in the divine that are your eternalness, your soul space expanding in your now. Just breathe and allow the space. For some of you, it's like a complete realignment of your thought processes. It's almost like I can see somebody where the mind, concepts, beliefs, self-beliefs as well, the mind, it's like opened and then totally this piece taken out. And then this entire new program piece being put in. Some of you, this is very much connected with your nervous system, your endocrine system, your respiratory system, the way in which your body produces all of the chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, all the things that you produce or you have produced over your lifetime based on your beliefs, because that's a whole nother level of this class, is understanding the body is its own pharmacy. And you create chemically based upon what you are feeling, what you are thinking, what your body believes to be your reality based upon what you're telling it by your energy. And some of you, those chemicals are being completely restructured, like completely. Just please breathe nice and slow, nice and deep. Some of you, you've been making way too many stress chemicals. You're freeing yourself right now. Just breathe, please. You are freeing yourself right now. This is bigger than any space you've ever been in. Some of you have cried in the middle of the morning hours when the moon is still out and the sun hasn't risen yet. And you've begged for reprieve. You've begged for a moment of breath. And you're freeing yourself right now. Just allow, please. Just breathe. You can feel the wave of peace coming in. Your eyes are being adjusted, your physical eyes, because you will never see your life the way you saw your life. Your physical eyes are being adjusted right now. Across the board, no matter who you are, your physical eyes are being adjusted right now, because vibrationally, your world is different. Because vibrationally, you are different. Ya puro sukuane ya taua gene ya natea otoa otoa ki anatawa ya sau toa ya. Now it's being grounded. The energies are being grounded. They're being anchored. Your crown is expanding. Breathe. Beautiful energy flowing. Beautiful energy flowing. Your flow rate is clear. Your flow rate is aligned into an optimal flow of you. And you get to choose as you implement in your world. You get to choose if you maintain your optimal flow. And do not be hard on yourself if muscle memory brings in a response or reaction of an old space, an old vibration, an old flow. Just catch it, redirect it, and keep flowing. You will gain more and more control over your own energy as you implement what it means to control your energy. You're learning how to be you. Breathe. Yeah, purusukua. Beautiful energy coming out of the back, right shoulder blade. Just allow your breath. There's a protection of golden light around you as you navigate movement into a space that does not live in fear, a space that lives from its understanding of itself as sovereign. You will have spaces where you will give yourself the opportunity to understand what sovereign means. And then you will know. Allow the spaces. How many times do you hear me say, allow the space? Welcome to the space. Allow the space. Your presence in every experience is your power. All right, allow your breath. Nice slow breath in, nice full exhale. We bless this in the highest alignment of life and the divine flow of love. You are surrounded by light. You are surrounded by love. You are surrounded by guidance. Ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Lean in. Ask yourself questions. Ask your team questions. When you feel fear or anger, look for your team. Look for your light. Look for your higher self. Where are they in the room? Where are they in the space? That will raise your vibration because you will key into these spaces of you that are your higher alignment. They will flood into the space and your vantage point will maintain and interpret from that higher view, that love view, that flow view. Surf the waves, Holy One. If you want to pick one now and then, that's fine. But get back on your surfboard board and surf the waves of all the limitless timelines available. Send love to all the timelines that are flowing and be the divine, sovereign, eternal one that you are. Yabhua ye yanatawa ye kia tokua. Tosoa ye yapua nene yanatawa. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just allow yourself to bring your attention back when you're ready. And if you, for whatever reason, don't want to bring your attention back, you don't have to. You can stay in the space. Just remember, though, you are this beautiful vibratory state in all the experiences you have. Tell yourself that. Remind yourself of that. It's very easy for us to compartmentalize, even from higher expansive spaces of ourselves, even after we've completed courses and classes and meditations and sessions. We've lived our whole lives feeling like we'd be one way in one space or with these people or with that group. And then when we're over here, we'll be this way. And we're learning that we get to be sovereign, loving, divine beings in all spaces of ourselves. So bring that in this week, this month as well. Work with the meditation. We have the candle service at the end of the month. You can already be sending me anything you'd like to share when I hold that sacred space at the end of the month for everyone. And we will continue to expand together. You can ask anything at any time via email or on the Patreon platform. I am always here every step of the way. And I'm so deeply grateful for each and every one of you. You are incredibly powerful, divine beings of light in glorious human formats. And I get to walk with you. So how incredibly beautiful is that? I love you so dearly. I truly love you. Yaro suko koa ye ya pua ne ne nawa. Okay. Let me look at this chat real quick, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. Christy said that she had heard the true sign of growth is not when the outside world changes, but when we change how we respond to the outside world. That is so beautiful and powerful. And that is it. And then the vantage point begins to shift more and more as to how we read the outside world because of where we're choosing to come from. So beautiful, and empowering. This is power. And you have it in your hands. I have it in my hands. We have it in our mouths. We have it in our hearts. It's all us, baby. It's all us. So be you. And as you be you, remember who you are. All right. Thank you for making it 9 minutes past the hour with me. You guys are amazing. Everybody was here. That's so lovely. I love you all unendingly. Doreen, I've been different. I've been in a different timeline. for a while. Beautiful, Doreen. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. That is beautiful, Deborah. You're learning. Thank you. Oh, beautiful, Deborah. Thank you. Thank you. Deborah and I just made a new video together. It was so powerful. God bless Deborah. Goddess bless Deborah. She's so amazing. The energy got super, super big in the video we were making. And she actually had to go and lay down and in the middle of the video. And you were so good, Deborah. And then she wrote me afterwards. And so it's all in a video, but I hope to be able to upload it in the next few days. Everybody will have the opportunity to work with the energy in the video. It's really, really big. It's really beautiful. And Deborah, you're really lovely to share such sacred spaces with the world. So thank you for doing that. All right, Holy Ones. Write me an email. I love to hear from you. Unending blessings upon you, Divine Ones. And thank you for being the change in this world. Thank you. Mwah. I love you. I love you. I love you.